Is that the door?
Well, what new disaster has kept you two up burning the midnight oil? Don't tell me the ghost of Hal Clark has been out walking the battlements at night?
Mason, let me give them the news.
I'd hardly call it news.
Do you remember I talked about having a lead, a potential witness?
That McElhaney guy?
Yeah, well, we found him, and we met with him last night.
Well, who is McElhaney? What does he have to do with this?
Well, according to what we've been able to piece together, he's probably the last person who saw Hal Clark alive.
Well, that's what we thought at first, but then I talked to him, got some more information, and it might be useful to us.
Drum roll, please.
We questioned McElhaney about what happened that night, and apparently he wasn't the only witness. There was someone else in the boathouse the night that Hal Clark disappeared.
Well, Cruz, this can be important. If this Mackel guy or whatever is willing to come forward, we could have something.
No, he's probably just another publicity monger out for his 5 minutes of fame.
No, I don't think so. We contacted him, not the other way around. I think he was very sincere.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. What did the guy actually say?
All right, on the night that Hal Clark disappeared, McElhaney was driving down Old Beach Road and got into a minor accident.
He apparently graduated from the Mr. Magoo School of Driving. Should look great on the stand, don't you think?
Julia, would you go ahead?
All right, so they exchanged licenses and insurance policies and all that, and McElhaney noticed that there was somebody else in the car. There was a little boy.
Well, his son, maybe?
No, Clark was single. He didn't have any kids.
Well, he was sure that he heard Clark call this little boy Boomer. And he noticed that because the kid bumped his head and Clark was comforting him.
And you think if we can get a line on who this kid was...
Exactly.
What you're saying is that you're going to trace this guy down and you're going to question him and see if he remembers anything about that night?
I know that it's a long shot.
Yeah, more like a dead end. It was 25 years ago.
Mason, please stop it. What do you think?
I don't know, but I think that Scott Clark is as good a place as any to start. He was Hal's nephew, and he might be able to tell us who this Boomer is and where we could get in touch with him.
All right, do you think he's still on call at the hospital?
I think we should check it out, see if he is.
Well, I think I'll sit this leg of the search out, if you don't mind.
Actually, I think I'm going to stay here, too. You call me if you hear anything.
And something going on between you two or something? I'll see you. Touch.
Drive careful.
Thanks.
Well, let's just let the do-gooders do their good. I think they're fools if they think this is going to lead anywhere.
I'd rather be a fool than a cynic. You know, Mason, you're just as lost as the rest of us, so I wish you'd just cut out the tired indifference because I'm not buying it.
Mm-hmm. But you know there's more to this Hal Clark business than you're letting on. I can't imagine you getting this worked up over a murder case that's 25 years old. How deeply is Dad involved?
I don't know. But I think he's deep enough that it's going to take a miracle to get him out again.
So you've talked to Dad again about this, huh?
More than once.
And?
And he denies any knowledge or involvement with what happened the night Hal Clark disappeared.
But now you're not sure you believe him, huh?
I don't believe he committed a crime. I do believe he's hiding something.
I wish I were so quick to share your faith.
You just never stopped thinking he was guilty, have you?
Guilt is a relative term, Eden, and God knows our Father's capable of many things.
Mason, we're talking about a murder. He is not capable of murder.
So what's your theory?
That he's protecting somebody. The logical choice is Pamela.
I don't think I like your logic, Eden. Besides, all the evidence so far, or lack of it, is circumstantial.
It's enough for Keith to pull out his bloodhounds and go after Daddy and Pamela if we don't do something to stop it.
What do you suggest?
I suggest you try talking to Pamela.
Damn it. Eden, I resent the ease with which you dismiss the likelihood of our father's culpability, turn right around and assume that my mother is capable of murder.
Mason, I'm not assuming anything. I'm saying she might be involved. And if so, she might be scared and in a lot of trouble. And if you just tried talking to her...
I tried.
Then try again. We are running out of time. And Pamela may be the only person who knows what happened to Hal Clark that night.
Laurie, it's Mrs. Castillo now, isn't it?
Hello, Grace.
I haven't had a chance to congratulate you on your marriage.
Oh, thank you very much. Have you happened to see my father?
I guess we're both looking for him. He sent me out to deliver some contracts.
I see. Well, have you talked to him? Do you know where he is?
No, I wish I could help you. To tell you the truth, your father's been a bit unpredictable lately. I'm a little concerned.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, he asked me to clear his entire calendar. He hasn't been down at the office. He's put everything on hold, and there are a few things that just can't wait. A gentleman flew in from Paris for a meeting with him today, and he refuses to see him.
That doesn't really sound like my father. Did he say why? Did he give you a reason?
No, nothing. Just that he had some personal business to take care of.
You guys are gonna have to talk on the run. I've got a consultation in 5 minutes.
That's all we need.
We were hoping that you might be able to tell us anything you remember about a little boy named Boomer.
What?
Well, this guy that Julia talked to last night said that your Uncle Hal was with a kid named Boomer the night he was last seen.
Boomer is a nickname that my Uncle Hal made up for me when I was a kid.
Then you were with Hal that night?
Not that I can remember, no.
Did he call anybody else by that nickname? Was it a handle of his or something like that?
No, just me.
And you have no recollection of riding in the car with him that night or anything about an accident?
I don't have any recollection because I wasn't there.
Scott, the man that was involved in the accident with your uncle, he remembers you. He said that you were frightened, that it was raining, it was dark.
You know, I realize it was a long time ago, but if you just think about this for a second, you might come up with something. Maybe something about with the storm or where you were going that night.
Look, I told you I don't remember, and it's not like something I would forget. My Uncle Hal and I were closer than me and my father. Whoever told you this must have made a mistake.
But he knew your nickname.
I said he made a mistake. I gotta go. Excuse me.
Well, I guess Mason was right. This is a dead issue.
Well, I don't think so.
Do you think that he's lying?
It didn't seem like it, did it?
I don't know. So what do we do now, boss?
Why don't you go back to your office and keep an eye on Mr. Timmons, wherever he goes, who he talks to?
How would you like me to do that specifically?
I'm sorry I should have mentioned this, but just between you and me, Pearl and I uncovered some remains, human bones underneath the boathouse. Now, we don't know for sure, but it occurs to me that it might have been Hal Clark's.
What does Timmons have to do with this?
Well, lo and behold, those very same bones have since turned up missing, and I believe our ever-dependable district attorney stole them. Hi, it's me. Same to you. Can you anything up? Okay, I'll be in a little while. I got a meeting with somebody here first. In fact, he's here right now. Yeah, you bet. Bye. Hey, Ben. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah.
You said you had some news about my brother's case?
Yeah, a little something. Have a seat.
Yeah.
We found a witness who says he saw Hal in the company of a little boy the night he disappeared. I'm just wondering if you have any idea who that might be.
Not a clue. Why?
What, do you think it could have been Scott?
I doubt that. Not that particular night, anyway.
Well, you said they spent a lot of time together, so...
Yeah, I said that. They were close. They were very close. Scott spent more time at the beach with his uncle than he did at home with me. That's right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't think it was a good idea because my brother and I had different opinions on how to raise my kid. I mean, he spoiled him every opportunity he got.
Yeah, well, that seems natural, seeing as how he was a man who didn't have children of his own.
Yeah, I can understand that, but it wasn't a good idea because he was my kid, and if I said black to him, he'd run to his uncle and he'd say white. I remember one time he let him drive his automobile. I mean, damn near killed the both of them. Wasn't right, that's all.
Yeah, I know, but I can see why the kid would like an uncle like that. I'm gonna go fishing here for a minute, man. Is there anything about the night your brother disappeared that sticks out in your memory? Anything he might have said to you? Maybe something about Scott?
No, the thing I remember is that storm that night was horrendous. And that's why I know Scott wouldn't have left the house, because he was terrified about thunder and lightning. Look, I know he smacked his butt many a time for sneaking out of the house and going down the beach to meet Hal, but he wouldn't have gone out that night. Not that night, no.
You're sure about it?
Yes, I'm sure. What are these questions about my son, my brother?
Well, I think it might have some bearing on the investigation.
Well, never mind about that. You want to solve my brother's murder, you question Pamela Conrad and C.C. Capwell. Whatever happened to my brother that night, they know about it. So ask them. And then call me.
No, I haven't heard from him. I'm here at the house. Grace said he left early, and I'm starting to get a little concerned about him. Oh, hold on. Kelly, he just walked in. I'll talk to you later.
What's the matter? Daughter's checking up on the old man.
I'm worried about you. Where have you been?
Well, wait a minute. I'll go out more often if it means I get this kind of reception.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, darling. I'm fine. I just got a very important thing coming up, very important business meeting. That's all, and I gotta get some things done. I'm way behind.
Well, Grace said you cleared your calendar for the day.
Yeah, but this thing is very important. I've got to take care of it. And I think maybe you better go run along, huh?
Well, I thought maybe we could talk for a few minutes. Grace said Pamela moved out.
Grace talks too much.
Is it true?
Yes, it's true, darling. Can we talk about it some other time?
Yeah, but I thought that maybe you
Darling,
and I...
please. I really am very busy. We can talk about it later.
You sure you're all right?
I'm fine.
Hey, twice in one day, how lucky can you get? You got a minute?
Do I have a choice?
Look, I just want to ask you a couple questions and you can kick me out of here, I promise.
Look, man, if this is more about what we talked about earlier, then I already told you it's a complete blank.
Well, you must have been someplace that night, right?
Come on, Cruz. We're talking about 25 years ago. Can you place yourself under those circumstances?
Well, probably not, but apparently the circumstances that night were fairly extraordinary, though. The storm that hit was the biggest thing ever around here.
Yeah, so you keep telling me.
Your daddy says that you used to sneak out of the house periodically and meet your Uncle Hal down at his place at the beach. Now, maybe that's where you went that night, huh?
No, it's not likely. There was a big storm that night. Look, I remember other nights, sure, just like they were yesterday, but not that night. I'm sorry, buddy. It's just not there.
Well, you know, I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
Why would I be lying to you about this?
Oh, I'm not saying you're lying, Scott. Forgive me if I'm implying that. It's just that I believe it's buried somewhere in your subconscious, some idea of what happened to your Uncle Hal that night. I mean, there was a kid in the car. He was your age, and his nickname was Boomer.
Then why can't I remember?
Who knows? Maybe you saw something you didn't want to see. Maybe you saw something terrible happen. And if that were the case, I mean, who would blame you if you just blocked the whole thing out of your mind?